everyone? Coach Tommy here. We're live, Smashing Plastic Podcast. It is a beautiful, bright, sunny spring day. I have my buddy, brother from another mother, Eric Gonzalez. Eric, tell these folks who you are.
Yeah, so Eric Gonzalez, been around Somerville for 9 years by way of Alabama. Retired here in 2017 from the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard. So we have another Coast Guard guy that has seen the world. Now, the million-dollar question that everybody wants to know about Eric is why pickle and how in the world are you into this beloved world of smashing a plastic ball with a paddle right now?
I mean, I've always been athletic.
Okay.
Always wanted to do sports. We picked it up, my wife and I, probably right after COVID, I would say.
Okay.
Didn't really take it too seriously then, but it was a sport. So,
Okay.
I want to be competitive.
Okay.
And really, I think started getting active and really started appreciating the game probably about 3 years ago. Really trying to get into it. A little bit of clinics, a little bit of some coaching there.
Okay.
Receiving some coaching anyway. Absolutely love the game.
So 3 years in, you're one of those folks like I am that came from COVID. Was there a certain individual that introduced it to you? Were you walking down the street, saw him playing pickle? Where did that come from?
Oh man. Oddly enough, we were, my wife Crystal invited me to, she forced me to go do cardio tennis with her. And so we're at Rollins doing the cardio tennis thing.
Okay.
Then right after that, I looked over, I was like, what's that game? And of course, people were playing in Doty Park, so we watched a little bit.
Wow.
And probably about a week later, we bought some paddles and we just learned the game.
Here's the story. Wow. So cool. So you're literally just out and about with the wife, doing the wife-husband thing, playing some cardio, saw pickle, picked it up. Now we're 3 years in. You and I play a lot together. You're in the Somerville area. This is a Charleston player here. Do you play and have you played anywhere else? And as far as community of Charleston, what would you rate where we're at right now with pickle?
I think we're still novice, honestly. Okay. I think we're getting there. I think the crush yard helps.
Okay.
I think the pickle bar helps tremendously.
Sure.
But I think especially after going on the trip we did in Mexico, talking to some of the people there, I think we're pretty far behind still.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I want to definitely bring you into the light, and hopefully one of these days we can get your crazy rock star wife, who is the busiest realtor in all of our area, on this to talk to you about a pickleball getaway. And Eric actually recently just got back from Pickleball Getaway, and I talked with him for 3 minutes when he got back, and he was elated about it. So I'm going to let him share a little bit about what exactly is a Pickleball Getaway, tell them where you went, who it was by, and then we'll kind of just take it from there if that's good with you.
Yeah, Pickleball Getaways. It is a company owned in part by Ben Johns and Deckel Bar.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some other people that are also co-owners
Sure,
of that.
Sure.
We got the idea from Brownie Moffitt, the owner of Pickleball Charleston.
Okay.
So we went ahead and signed up. Just happened to be over my wife's birthday. She wasn't too excited about going at the time, but I think she really enjoyed it.
Okay.
No, we went down to Mexico, beautiful resort down there. We stayed there for a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Very reasonably priced, extremely reasonably priced, considering how we got to play with Ben Johns, which, that alone, I think, was completely worth it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's get about an hour and a half a day of clinic, and
Okay.
then you can either enjoy the all-inclusive resort there, or you can go back a little bit later on and play some open play with everybody there. There were 80 people in total that were on this trip. So,
80 people total. I'm assuming most of them are couples. A lot of couples, I would imagine, right,
Yep.
are on this trip. Flew down to Mexico, all-inclusive resort, and it just happened to be that legitimately the man, the myth, the legend himself is a part of this unbelievable getaway that you get. You're actually playing with Ben Johns on a day-to-day basis for a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about the skill levels there. Were they all various? Was it higher? Was it more serious guys? Was it, guys and gals that had picked up a paddle? What does that look like?
So typically from what I understood with the with the onboarding. They didn't really prefer newer players, but
Okay.
I think they would still been welcome, honestly.
Sure.
So I would say the range was probably about from 3, and there's probably maybe 1 or 2 guys that are just above the 4 or 5 range there.
Okay.
Talking to some of the pros there, they've had 5s in there.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
And they giving them a run for their money at times.
Wow.
So yeah, no, it's a little bit of everybody. They try to group you up the best they can within your skill level, but I mean, honestly, with the clinic, it's teaching everybody how to drill. So whenever you go and go back home, you can do these drills no matter what level your partner is.
Sure.
You should be able to incorporate that.
So you go there, you're on a trip with your wife, you guys play some pickle, you learn some skill sets that you can bring back with you. A $1,000,000 question for me, and this is something that I'd love to pick your brain about, but do you play with your spouse often, and how do you navigate the waters of that to where it's not, obviously got to go home with this beautiful lady and not smash each other in the face with a frying pan over, a drop third shot, right? Like, how do you navigate that? How often do you do that? Is that something that you're healthy with?
I think Crystal and I playing together is probably the most unhealthy thing that we can. I think we've gotten better, honestly, together with
Okay.
with playing. Before it was definitely hard to do. I think we've definitely come together a little bit. I mean, she will not do tournaments. She doesn't like playing competitively.
Gotcha.
Oddly enough, she did play at one of the round robins at the Pickleball.
Okay.
So I was shocked about that. She did really well.
That's awesome.
But one thing that we have done a lot since we've gotten back is actually drilling and stuff like that.
So you're drilling with your wife, like literally just, hey, babe, let's go work on the drills that we learned from Captain Ben.
Yeah.
Literally. Wow. Yeah. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, I've seen both, right? Like I've seen me and you have played against couples that, seem to have this thing figured out. And then we play with couples where me and you kind of smile at each other and we're like, they're probably not going home in the same car. Like it literally is that different between folks that figure it out. I actually work day to day with my wife, who's a designer for a company. So it's something I've done for 20 years. So when even we play pickle, I could definitely tell how when the competitive juices get going and you're one level, your wife is another level. And there are some ladies that you and I both know that are above our level. You know what I mean? Like literally that would be looking down upon us. I could definitely see how that can, definitely be a challenge. That's for sure. But I love to hear that you guys are drilling and playing at least to get each other better. Because Crystal is a absolute riot, and I cannot wait to get her smiley face on here so you guys can see what we're talking about with that crazy woman. All right, next, talk to me about the beloved world of where pickle is now from when you first started, because you and I are very techie. We talk paddles, we do a lot of that stuff together. What in the world and how different is pickle now from when you started 3 years ago?
Oh man, I mean, you mentioned the paddles.
Sure.
I mean, the paddles alone, I think they've come so far.
Night and day, right? Like literally.
Seriously, literally night. From my first Onyx Z3 that I had to now I'm using a Proton Flamingo. The technology in these paddles are just incredible.
It's two completely different sports.
They're only going to get better.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like it's a rabbit chasing, right? Because every manufacturer has to chase it down. Because if not, they're getting left. And you and I both know there's massive market share that's in this thing. So if you're not at the top, then you're losing market share. And you got guys and gals that are literally leaving. I mean, you got pro guys right now that are signing with other brands that are still playing with another brand just because the technology and the paddle that they've got is night and day. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty scary how different that is. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here. We are live at Funville Farm, home of Smashing Plastic Pickleball HQ. Behind me, you're going to notice our brand new court with fencing, lighting, concrete pad, full seal master system, all completed by first-class painting and restoration. If you are looking for a home court, or if you are a municipality, or you're a school, or you need a court done, call First Class Painting and Restoration. They are your go-to for getting any of your court stuff done. With that being said, the home of Smashing Plastic Pickleball, aka Funville Farm, will have clinics, camps, personal one-on-one lessons, group lessons, and most importantly and most fun, we will have weekend events. Cannot wait to see you live at Smashing Plastic Pickleball in Summerville, South Carolina. Where do you see the game going? You're a sports guy. You've been a sports guy. You're an athlete guy. Where do you just hypothetically see pickle a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now?
Oh man, that's a great question, especially having been to some of the PPA events. I absolutely love the PPA events because you get to up close and personal with the pros.
We're shoulder to shoulder.
I don't know if that's going to be a thing here in the next couple of years. I think it's going to be harder to. They're not going to be as accessible.
Sure.
I think MLP is kind of the right direction, but I know it's not very popular with a lot of people. But I think the team aspect of it is something new and something fresh, as opposed to the constant tournaments week in and week out.
Right. I think you're I think you're absolutely right. And you and I have been to both. We've been to the MLPs. We've been to the PPAs. They're two complete different, venues, two complete atmospheres, two complete different everythings. I, like you, think it's going to be very interesting how players balance them, because it seems like, I don't know how you feel, but these players are playing, 35, sometimes 40 weeks out of the year right now. So, and then you have MLP events that are mixed in there. I don't know if I want to use the word burnout, but I can definitely see how it would get like, dude, do I really need to do this when it's this kind of different venue? Because they're a completely different game. I mean, you're talking team as opposed to the same guy or gal that you're playing with week in and week out. I do agree with you, though, on the accessibility. And we've talked about this on other podcasts that we have, but for you and I to go to a PPA event or MLP event and go in line there to get a chicken finger, and Hayden Patricken is beside you getting chicken fingers, I just don't know if that's going to happen much longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot right now for us sports fanatics that could be a part of something that's so new and fresh, but so big. I don't think yet that the formula's right to make it go big, but I think it's getting very close. I'll just put it to you that way.
Yeah.
Walk me through a beloved world of where you're getting better, because you and I are adamant about getting better and better and better, and levels and points and points. Where are you at right now, and what are you doing, and honestly, to get better?
Oh God. I always like to think that I'm a little bit better than my rating. So
Okay.
I'm a 3.9. So I feel like I'm right at like maybe a 4.
Okay. You're right at a 4 right now. You're comfortable with that?
Yeah, I'm totally comfortable with that. Things that I'm working on right now is once again, one thing that I got from the pickleball getaways is nice roll volley. So I feel so much better about my net play after going to that pickleball getaways with all the clinics that I had.
Sure.
I mean, my confidence is like through the roof just because of that clinic alone. But yeah, my TUI,
Yep.
I've been working hardcore with that. Yeah, I think I've definitely progressed. It's like with anything else that I've ever done as far as sports, I always have a goal. So, I'm trying to get to 4-1 by the end of the year.
Okay.
Going to play some tournaments with some friends, hopefully finish out pretty good. So, yeah.
Walk me through when you were down in Mexico and the sun is beating down. What are some of those things that you took away from the net that made you better, that you're like, man, I'd never thought about that? And I guess a follow-up question to that as a coach is, was it truly like a coach that was navigating you through drills? Was it a little bit of both of you actually, hey, here's the idea, now I need you to practice it? Like, walk us through that.
Yeah, so how they had it set up, it would be 40 people at a time. So
10 courts, 4 folks.
Yeah, so we would just gather around the main court. They would go over, for instance, let's say, we're talking about net play, a roll volley.
Okay.
Pros would go out, they'd talk about it. It wasn't just like, these are the motions. It's why you do it, how you do it, when you should do it. Anything that, if you're teaching any technique, especially in coaching, what you should do.
Sure.
So the buy-in was there. They would split us up. They would show us how to feed the ball and hit the ball, and they would just rotate around. The pros would. So
the pros are rotating around to the groups that you guys spread out. So they're actually physically seeing Eric do this roll volley, and they can be like, Eric, I love you, but that right there is, we're not where we need to be. We need to do this. And that way you're getting immediate feedback from what you're trying to work on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How critical do you think that is right now to the success of what you're seeing, even with drilling with your wife, right? Like, you now know how to feed it, you know what you're looking for, and you guys can give each other feedback on coming back from something like that.
It's super important. Just from a technical standpoint, you always want to be perfect in your motions, especially something like pickleball. My wife and I don't come from racket sports,
Sure.
So that's new to us. So having that extra instruction on how you should lay your wrist over to get that roll volley using your shoulder instead of your arm and everything, that helps immensely. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, feeding the ball, I can't stress enough how
important it is, right? I mean, it's everything. Like if you and I are trying to work on a drill and I keep putting it every third foot, it's just like baseball, right? If I'm not feeding you to be able to hit, how in the world do I expect you to be able to get better hitting?
Yeah.
Pickleball is the same exact way. All right, well, we're going to wrap up with something from our beloved Coach G. Now, I know this is a lot of pressure, but you're coming out of Mexico, you're tan, you guys got all this stuff going on. I need the best tip that you come back with from, we'll even say Ben Johns. Your name is getting mentioned in the Smashing Plastic podcast, for crying out loud. You have made it, Ben. What is one tip that you want Martha in Minnesota to know from Eric Gonzalez here in South Carolina?
My tip wouldn't so much come from Ben Johns, but it would come from Rob Cassidy.
Okay, Rob Cassidy.
He said something that sticks with me. I mean, I wish I'd applied this to all the sports. He said, take the anxiety out of your paddle. And that right there alone, I'm like, this makes so much sense. It's not your feet. It's not your body. It is, you're just so nervous trying to make the perfect shot. It's just, just do your thing. Just make it happen.
Take your anxiety out of the paddle. Rob Cassidy from Eric Gonzalez. Here it is right here. Eric, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the pod. We are definitely going to have you back with your beloved so we get her perspective on this beloved couples pickle or this couples getaway. Anything else you'd like to share? And you do highly recommend that if somebody's out there and you're entertaining, doing a getaway, you're giving it a 5-star. You highly recommend them do this.
Yeah, absolutely. The lessons that you'll learn just through that getaways is just incredible. It's a cheap vacation. You're going to learn so much. Highly recommend. Yeah.
That is awesome. Eric Gonzalez, everybody. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to Smashing Plastic Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this segment with Eric Gonzalez. Coach Tommy out. We'll see you next time. Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here. Thanks for tuning in to Smashing Plastic. Big shout out to Sean Monahan for the music, production, and editing. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe for more awesome content, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Those links are in the description. Now let's get out there and smash some plastic.